Not sure what to do with it. Picks his moment. Goes short to Milne. And Stephen Milne will line up for goal number 11.
And Quarters, we believe that this little fellow with the footy is the only player this season to kick a haul of 10 goals, to kick double figures in the one game.
Listen to the crowd. Tell you what, make him a late charge for the Coleman. Listen to the crowd. Milne's got 10 straight.
And it is our great pleasure to catch up with one of the greatest small forwards of all time and an all-time great of the St Kilda Football Club. Over 250 games, over 560 career goals. I speak of Stephen Milne. And Milney, thanks for giving us your time today.
G'day, boys. How we going?
Going very well. I'm going to start off by hitting you right between the eyes with the issue of the week. We've heard Nick Riewoldt and Brendan Goddard speak about this a lot. You played a lot of footy under Ross Lyon. You played a lot of very good football under Ross Lyon. He's departed the Fremantle Football Club. Are you one who believes St Kilda should at least ask the question, or do you feel that maybe his time at the club would be the way it ended last time might count against him?
No, I don't think so. I think I was very shocked and disappointed yesterday, and a little bit upset the way it kind of unfolded over there. But if the Saints should ring him straight away and just have a chat to see where his head's at. I think, let bygones be bygones, and, what happened in the past. But I think it'll be silly for the Saints not to even just pick up the phone and touch base with him and see what he's thinking. So, as Louis and BJ said, he was kind of like a father figure, and obviously I heard Matty Pavlich today. Sonny Walters, couldn't talk highly enough of Ross, and I'm in that boat as well. Kind of treat him like a second father and a father figure, and we've got a big catch-up in a month, prelim weekend, which we do about 5 years now, and, Ross is coming to that. So hopefully everything's cooled down by then.
Milne, what do you think set Ross apart for you in your career and for the boys at the club? What made him such a special part of that unit?
Well, I think he was he was one of the boys. As Louis said, we didn't like the softies, and if you went above and beyond and actually tried your hardest week in, week out and left no stone unturned, he liked you, but if you didn't, it was very tough to get in. And he was like one of the boys. You could have a beer with him, but he just wasn't all the coach. He was kind of like a mate as well, and it wasn't all just footy. You could kind of talk to him about life in general and stuff like that. So that's what kind of set him apart, and his relationships that he built with the players on and off the field, and obviously we're still pretty close, kind of 5-6 years down the track now. So hopefully we're still doing these kind of prelim or the drawn grand final catch-ups in 20, 25 years to come, and it's like we're still at the club when we catch up. It's it's a long lunch and a long day, but it's like we're still at Moorabbin in the four walls, cracking jokes and doing that kind of stuff. So that's what sets him apart, and that's why everyone loves him. But obviously over there to footy town, it's pretty tough, and obviously it hit him right between the eyes yesterday. It's unfortunate.
Now, it seems like Rossi was a bit of a hard taskmaster from the outside. He famously dropped yourself and Nick Del Santo at one point. What was the message he gave you when that happened? Yeah,
that was a long time ago, the famous dropping. Yeah, obviously that week, Del and I think I kicked a couple of that game, but I didn't have any tackles or kind of no contested ball, so I was just kind of looking to get on the scoreboard and not do the hard work. And he obviously sat myself and Dale down and said, "This can't keep going. We're losing, and we've got to set an example and set a standard at the club that this can't, we can't do this going forward." So he kind of set the standard, and after that, I probably played my best footy, and Dale did as well after we got dropped.
That was round 13, 2008. So St Kilda entered that game 5-7. If we look back historically, that may have been a turning point. We won 8 of our last 10 that year, made a prelim, and then obviously 2009 was outstanding, and 2010. Did you sort of look back at that as a lot of clubs reference a line in the sand? I mean, you and Del Santo go out of the side for 1 week, come back and play great footy, and the side really launched from there.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll put it all on me that I turned the club around. But no, I think it was because he set a standard and the culture of the club that, it's not it's a hard way, not the easy way. And I was trying to look for a few cheapies over the back, kind of Joe the Goose is not working hard enough. And Dell and I changed after that. Our contested ball and tackling numbers went up, and the team kind of changed. It wasn't obviously just us two, but it kind of set a standard for everyone at the footy club that it's going to be the hard way, not the easy way. And moving forward after that, we kind of, we had a massive win-loss ratio, and I think there was a game in Perth where we went over to Perth and we sat down. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were 5-7, and it might have been after that, it might have been Gold Coast. Actually, we went up to Gold Coast to play North. And we beat North. We were 6 goals down at half time, and we come and beat North as well. So it was kind of a turning point for that year, but then obviously for 9, 10, and 11 moving forward, and then after that, kind of everything went downhill from there, unfortunately.
Just one from me before I hand it back to the guys as well. Unfortunately, through these podcasts, we've spoken about a lot of painful memories with close grand finals and things like that. But one, and not to sort of give you sleepless nights, but that 2010 draw, and everybody remembers the famous bounce of the ball. From your recollections of it, some people who were sitting in the crowd said the ball was a long way away, the ball was further away than it seems on camera. How close was the footy when it veered right, and did you have that thought in your head that I'm about to win us a flag?
Yeah, I did. Lenny kind of kicked it in, and I kind of, had Ben Johnson covered, and kind of landed about, kind of 3 metres kind of in front of me. So it's kind of, if I dive for it and miss it, and then it goes over my head, and we don't look like an idiot, or kind of let it bounce. But if I could have marked it, I would have marked it and kicked it into the Collingwood cheer squad pretty hard. But it is what it is, and obviously the week after, that was super for us.
Mate, just might get you to rewind a little bit back to the start of your career. Obviously, famously out of the Essendon reserves. How did that move come about? Is it Johnny Beveridge special, or kind of how did you make that move from the red and black to the red, black and white?
Yeah, it was. I kind of got overlooked in the draft, 97 and 98 with the Dandenong Stingrays, and I was doing a pre-season at Frankston, so I was living in Hampton Park, and Adam Amanakis, who got drafted to Essendon, kind of rang up, and Adrian Dodoro, they were short of numbers, so I just played a couple of practice matches and then ended up getting on the supplementary list, $300 a game, and ended up winning the flag against the Saints. And then that year, Johnny Beveridge just plucked me out. Kind of on the rookie list, number 23. The Bombers said they were going to take me late, but Johnny Beveridge kind of plucked me out of the blue, and next thing I was at the Saints, and 14 years later, a few hundred games and one club player, pretty proud.
Now, we had your mate Schneids on last week. Told us a couple of good stories and that, and I was just thought maybe turn the tables and got any stories that you could actually tell us on the air?
Oh, Schneids did. Oh, Schneids is a classic Schneids. One of the guys that I've never seen a guy that's so scared of skin folds kind of in his life. Schneids, obviously Schneids and I were a little bit chubby, and if you got over 50 in the skin folds, you'd have to go to the Jenny Craig group. So I was a little bit skinnier than Schneids, but not far. But Schneids tried every trick in the book the night before the skin folds. I think he was more nervous of getting his skin folds done than he was playing footy. He used to jump in the ice bath because he thought his tummy and that would shrink just before he would get the skateboards out. He drank 4 or 5 litres of water because he thought his body would get bloated, so they couldn't get all the fat. So for a guy that didn't eat veggies and a lot of junk food, he did pretty well in his career, old Snipe.
Looking back also at the early stages of your career, your relationship with Grant Thomas, I know he at times was critical of what he perceived to be your form in finals, something that was very, very good in the back half of your career, 8, 9, 10 through that period. But I think you kicked 11 against Brisbane famously, and he spoke about how he wasn't even sure he was going to pick you in the final the following week. What was your relationship like with Grant and your reflections on him as a coach?
Yeah, I suppose Grant and I, it was a bit of a love-hate relationship with Tomo and I. That was back in the day where you could actually get dragged. So as a forward pocket, it's a bit of a starvation corner down there. And if you didn't get a kick in kind of 10, 15 minutes, you would be off the ground for 10, 15. So it's pretty hard to get a kick and kick a goal when you're on the bench for 10, 15 minutes. So if Tomo was coach these days with the rotations, kind of might have get a bit more game time. But and that was the early days when I was probably a little bit immature, and I was kind of only 24, 25, and going on the big stage, 04 and 05 with Fraser and all that. So there were a couple of games that, I wasn't proud of, but towards the back end when I got a bit more resilient and a bit more consistent, I kind of thought I was okay in a few finals, and obviously the 09 Granny wasn't a great one, but the 010 wasn't too bad. So, but Tomo was great for the footy club. He treated every player like he was their own, and we used to go back to Tomo's house after the game and watch the replay and have a few beers and that. So, but it was a bit of a love-hate relationship with old Tomo, but he still lives and breathes the St Kilda Footy Club. He loves it. He loves a good comment and loves getting up, stirring people up.
Just to follow on from those 11 goals that Darren was just talking about, how was it lining up?
I'm happy to talk about it all night if you want.
How was it lining up for that 11th goal with the chant in the background?
Yeah, it was pretty special. Look at it now. It was 15 years ago. So look back at it now and only kind of talk about it when you're at a sportsman's day or lunch or doing an interview like this. Just to go back and I think Mum's watched it about 10 times and I've watched it 2 or 3. She's got the DVD and I was just running full of adrenaline kind of that day, and I don't think I was never going to miss going back on even the one on the boundary and the one straight in front. So that was a day where everywhere I went, the borders kind of landed in my lap. So unfortunately, it didn't happen a few more times. Would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, Milney, there's another time the ball kind of followed you a little bit, and it's been it's kind of been moved into AFL folklore, and it's Rui's mark at the SCG.
I know. I was getting up for that, don't I?
Can you walk us through those few moments? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do. I remember Robert Harvey kicking it, and I'm just kind of going towards the ball because obviously I was in front, and I didn't even see Rui coming. It was our first year, Rui's first year. I think it was my first year as well, 2001, and I was lucky not to get concussed or anything. He kind of just brushed me, and I got up and kind of played the rest of the game, but I get no credit for it. It was my mark, and Willie just took it and hogged it, and I don't even think he got mark of the year. Did he get mark of the year?
No, Ashley Sampi got it.
Yeah, I think he got mark of the week.
That's
mark of the week, but not the year.
Yeah, but I get no credit for that at all, because it was my mark that Willie was running back, and he could have hurt himself and hurt me as well, so I think it was pretty stupid by Rui, actually.
I might be biased, but he didn't get mark of the year, but I think it's the greatest mark ever taken in the history of the game. So it's
I'm with you. It was pretty courageous. I mean, I reckon even Brownie was kind of second, the one against Hawthorn. That was pretty special as well. So, but I think, Rui's was a lot better.
We've often debated, I guess, our favourite Stephen Milne goals. You kicked 560-odd for the club. Is there one in particular that you're like, well, that's my favourite goal? I mean, is it the one you kicked in the drawn granny to get us within a point because of its importance, or is there a particular spectacular goal that you remember most?
Yeah, that's probably the one in the grand final because we were that close, and I remember celebrating. I was celebrating too hard, and I went dizzy for a little bit because I went pretty nuts. So I had to compose myself, but probably the one at Port Adelaide where it went over Rui's head, and kind of dribbled it towards me into the goals, and then kind of go Port Adelaide. She scored a bit of a serve and a bit of a mouthful. That was probably my favourite one because we were 9 or 10 goals up, and Rui dropped it or it just went over Rui's head for once, so I kind of got a piece of it, and that's probably my favourite one. But obviously the one at the grand final was pretty special. I thought we kind of we had it there and we were about to overtake him.
Mm-hmm. Mate, you mentioned earlier some of the stuff that you used to get up to with Schneid's. Obviously, you were known as a bit of a prankster, a jokester at the club, and there were a few other boys around the locker room that would have been in that group as well. Can you tell us one of the better pranks that you would have seen or been involved in?
Oh, yeah, Bakes was, Stevie Baker was one of the best kind of at that, but one of the best ones was kind of getting the few of the young guys' cars when they first get to the club and kind of moving their cars, kind of 2 or 3 blocks away, and they walk out to their car and we're filming them. And one of the guys, I think it was Justin Sweeney, I think he played 1 or 2 games. Like it took him 2.5 hours to find his car, which is pretty funny. And obviously the one where I can't remember who it was, we put about 200 golf balls in the back of one of the boys' car and moved it to when he opened all his doors, all his golf balls just fell out of the car. So they're probably the 2 favourite ones where I've got that done to me as well. The car, it only took me about 20 minutes to find it, but they're probably the most favourite ones that I can tell on here. There's some other ones that you can tell, but probably not the right place.
As we let you go, Milney, with the EJ Whitten Legends game coming up, obviously you're running around again. I imagine you'd be the type of player that would have a bit of fun. I'm sure there's plenty of guys out there that, you know, they see it as another opportunity to get 35 touches and you know, take the more serious route. But I guess it's a very good cause and a good chance for you guys to all go out on show. And how do you feel about the AFLX concept?
Yeah, bit different, but I've been training. I think I'm going to go pretty hard at it and do the old Richie Vandenberg style, I think. So I think I'm going to go off the letter now. I'll be the complete opposite. I'll just be standing in the goal square doing nothing. But having a look at the list, standing in the goal square, I think I'll be getting kicked out of there because there's Fev, there's Brad Johnson, Ben Dixon, there's Jared Waite, so there's Travis Cloak. So between the 6 and 7 of us, I'm not sure who's going to move far from the goal square. So it's going to be.
You reckon you might be able to give Ben Dixon a few goal kicking tips?
Well, he's a goal kicking coach at the Saints, so it should be a good night. Obviously, it's for a great cause, so yeah, it's time to test. So if you want to get out there and test yourself, it only takes a blood test these days. So it's a massive cause, and obviously it's been going for about I think 15, 16, maybe longer years now. In the last couple of years, I've kind of said no because I was still playing local footy and. I didn't want to play in case I got injured because we were kind of in finals and stuff. So this year, because I'm not playing, I thought it was good opportunity to play and have a bit of fun, and hopefully they can pack it out. It's a bit of a different kind of setup, but it should be good, and try and catch up with all the boys after the game. That's where I'll probably do my best work.
And it was good to see you and Bakes win flags in local footy as well. It was a good reward, and you're a superstar for the Saints, Milney, and we appreciate you giving us some time sharing some stories across your career.
No, thanks, boys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.